to cancel anything now, right?
No,
No
it doesn't.
canceling.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 39 of Read This Way. We have got a weird show in store.
You know what? We're angry again.
I'm confused, to be honest.
Confused, angry, we're
Happy,
all
sad.
sorts of things. I know there's so many emotions going on at the moment.
I feel like I have whiplash.
Yeah.
I had this plan for this episode, and it's just completely been just shambles. Absolute shambles.
Yeah. Hi, Brandon.
Hey guys. Hey Brandon, what's going on?
Jack.
And Jack. Yeah, that's true. So I guess we've got some cancellations. That we just found out for sure.
Like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. And I kind of wish that I had found out on camera because it punched me in the gut, and I was so physically like I just screamed out no, and Logan's like, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, it's bad news, man."
When you see Brad just drop his head into his hands and then just start screaming no, you know something.
It was bad. So dramatic.
Yes, but rightfully so. I mean, it's
some interesting news that came out as well for the future of Jump's magazine, and gonna dabble in some reviewing of a particular anime today as well.
Dabble, give it a whirl.
Yeah.
It's brand spanking new.
Yeah. Oh, where's the? There it is. It just disappeared. All the branding had disappeared.
Can't have that.
So then I couldn't do this. Yeah, so let's just jump straight into it. Ginko and Luna has been cancelled.
Yeah. I mean, that's not all of it. I was holding myself back.
Yeah, it's just utter crap. Like, I kind of knew that it was coming, like you said. Like,
yeah,
you were like, it's scary, and I'm like, nah, we're not having it. And yeah, we will be wrapping up next issue in volume 20 of Jump.
Dang it.
Yeah. So the looks like they're staggering the cancellations this time around by a week each. Yeah.
Which is weird. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe it makes sense to them to not having to rush to get 3 new titles going all at the same time. I guess this gives each title sort of some breathing room to be the new title that's coming.
Yeah. Just why? Ginko and Luna was so good.
Just move it to plus.
Seriously though, like
you don't have to put it in the official magazine. Just move it to plus. Listen to the fans. Listen to the people who want to read it.
I feel so sorry for Shinpei Watanabe because he was crafting such a complex, huge series, and it just got the legs cut out from underneath him.
I feel like it did. I feel like those 20 odd chapters that we've had enough material to have covered 80. I just feel like the whole thing was just pushed so hard and so fast that we could have had something really magical happen here, but they didn't give him the breathing room to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just having a look at some of the comments, and it's not like people aren't really happy.
No, no, but I'd say it's one of the series that wasn't as widely known or maybe not as popular amongst certain crowds because
uh,
it is unique. It's not
Red
a
Hood too slow paced, Ginker and Luna too fast paced, and just,
get them
what do
working
you what do you
together.
want? What do you want, Jump? What do you want?
Well, this is right. We're dealing with them. I don't know. Both of the titles were outside of their cookie cutter environment,
Yeah.
and both of the titles were fantasy based. I have a
Even
feeling they
even
were
Phantom
scared.
Seer, even Phantom Seer, like I know I'm still on
Here
that
we
one.
go.
Like it had such a cool dark undertone to it. There was so much more that we were going to explore in that world. I'm just it's bullshit, man.
It is. It's all crap, and we need to start some sort of funding system to keep these series going. They just transplant the series over to a different platform and let them run with it. And I feel like that Jump would be one of those companies that are so petty they wouldn't let the series jump. They wouldn't let it move to a different title. Man, wouldn't that be great to set up a publishing company that just scoops? It just
Jump
scoops.
rejects.
It just scoops all the things out of the that everybody else throws away, and then lets them marinate and actually properly develop. Man, there'd be so many good stories.
and it seems like the conception on this is like people are asking why aren't they bringing it to Jump Plus? Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Well,
you have the platform there. Why not just move it?
because they don't want to pay the artist.
Yeah,
It's
hundred
not
percent.
it's not popular enough. The printed copies aren't selling enough, so they don't want to pay the artist. And I would like to see the numbers as to how much these guys get paid versus how much these books make.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be Oda. Not everybody can live on 3 hours of sleep a day and sell
Yeah.
millions of books each week. You can't have that for everyone. So you got to let some
I mean,
little bits in.
speaking of, he's having health issues again.
Of course he
Um,
is. Dude's got
it's
major issues. He really does.
yeah. Uh,
Was he got sleep deprivation? Dude sleeps like
malna-
3.
malnutrition.
Yeah. He's like his kidneys failing him. He's just if he
Writes a
keeps
killer
going.
story though.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Is it's a killer story. It's
Yeah.
actually gonna it's gonna kill him, and he should listen to. And I can guarantee you that there's every fan on this planet is screaming at him to stop. Just stop. Look after yourself.
Yeah.
You guys can wait 6 months. Let him get back on top of things. Let him release once every 2 weeks instead of once a week. He'd still probably work the same pace. You just get twice as much material. It's just it's just bred into him, isn't it? This is how he works.
Yeah. So Jump does a thing in Japan called it's Spring T-shirt campaign. All series published in the magazine from 18 to 20 have been included, except for Tokyo Demon Bride Story, Ginko and Luna, and Ichigoki's Under Control have been excluded.
Interesting.
Mm.
Not. I mean, they knew they were going to cancel them.
No, but Ichigoki's probably the big standout there
Why?
because it's part of the Cipher Academy like 17 chapter mark. So why are they excluding that one?
Because they're planning to cut it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's what it says to me
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like they're going to cut it soon. 17 chapters. Man, could you imagine the pressure? Do you imagine the pressure knowing that
Yeah.
if you're not selling enough by 17 chapters, you're gone?
Yeah. Which is why they end up having health issues. My Hero Academia is on a sudden break this week. So coming the issue 19. It's saying production reasons, but that could be a nice way of saying that Hirokoshi is not
doing so well.
not doing so well.
Well, they're just coming off the back of winter now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so things will just be starting to warm up for them, which means that it's the same as here. You know, as soon as that weather changes, people start getting sick. Things start happening. So it won't surprise me if we see a few sicker people over the next few weeks. But I wouldn't stress too much. I think these guys on the higher tier. So when we start talking higher tier, people who are over 100 chapters and stuff like that, I really think they should give them a lot more leeway. They should give them more time because the fan base is already there. People are going to come back
bi-weekly.
Yeah. Yeah, once every 2 weeks, same amount of pages. Just let them, just have that time.
Take the foot off the gas.
Yeah. Doesn't mean, if anything, the product is going to get better. It's going to get, more refined. You're going to get better material. But, what do we know? We don't run a multi-million-dollar company, do
we? We're not creators ourselves.
No, not at all. Stretch.
The character designer for Gundam: The Witch of from Mercury is spruiking Marriage Toxin, which admittedly I have to catch up on because it's been a few weeks. But man, I love the series so much.
Yeah, I got a little bit lost in the most recent arc because they just introduced so many characters at once, and it's been one big giant sliding action piece.
So this is probably going to be a really fun catch up for me. And probably make a lot more sense.
It is because you haven't been reading week to week, so things won't be as confusing when you read that batch all at once. It's gonna. So you're way back when they've
just kind of got to the island.
Yeah. Okay. They were on the boat.
That's not all I can do. No, she's been taken.
Okay, so the knife guy. The knife guy is with them. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You remember you were up to when the water girl turns up.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're not that far behind.
No, only a few weeks, I think. Like maybe 3-4 chapters.
Maybe 3-4. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, that's just one big battle over those 4 chapters. So it's going to run real smooth for you, back to back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's really loud. Share screen. So the Sakamoto Days Wirtz Border PV has gone live. So this will be the first of us watching it as well. This is the collaboration. That looks cool.
So much awesome work.
It's a good idea for panel. Cross promotion.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Is he dressing like one of the characters, or is that's just the way he wears his hat.
I don't know.
He's got like eye holes cut out of the top. And he's got the cap right down.
Could be he's one of the newer creators that hasn't done a face reveal yet.
Oh, maybe.
There's a few young creators that haven't done face reveals yet.
Yeah, for good reason, because they're like 16 or something.
Well, Otto from Red's now in her 20s, I think.
Okay.
And she still hasn't. And I mean,
Well,
it's like
if
the
they
whole
don't need to.
Sia. No, exactly.
Yeah.
Volume
Volume 11.
That was fun.
I'm gonna buy all 11 chapters at once. I think I actually need that in my collection. I still don't have it because I'm a slacker and I'm poor. But you know,
yeah.
I'm gonna buy everything, but I'm gonna do it up here.
We will be getting a One Piece chapter next week, but the following week, it'll be going on break. But I think that's just its usual one, and then we're getting just the normal schedule again.
On the note of One Piece, been any more news about the TV series?
Soon. The trailer has dropped. I still haven't seen it. I only just remembered about it then. It dropped like a couple of days ago.
Oh, did it? So I haven't seen it either. No.
I had a little bit going on.
That is so weird that I haven't seen it come up in any of my feeds. That's really weird. Considering the scale of it.
Damn. Sorry. I think I need to catch up on Mission Yozakura Family.
Oh, is it looking good?
This looks sick. Hang on.
But this is after the time jump we had. Yeah, now they got kids and everything.
So this is just PV.
I remember reading the first few chapters. I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty generic.
Yeah. It's a fun little story. I don't know what's happening now though.
Maybe it got a lot darker than I know about.
Yeah, just a bit.
What?
I mean, it is a story about assassins, right?
Yeah, but I thought it was all cutesy pie stuff. Wait a minute. I don't remember seeing any of this stuff.
And this was like the stuff that they were teasing early on that I was like, yeah, this is cool. But it lost me a bit early.
It lost me quite early because they were really pushing that rom-com feel. But if that's anything to go by, I'm jumping on.
Right?
That's looking pretty freaking sweet. And this is why we're loving these PVs though. It's really showing a side of the series that I don't know about. Nobody knows about. Yeah. It's just going to get a bunch of new readers. It's a really smart move.
Chainsaw Man has reached 24 million copies in circulation with 14 volumes.
It's doing pretty well still.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about it, or do you want to?
Nah, because I got to show you this because it's. This is amazing. Have you seen their 3D screen?
Oh yeah. Oh nice. That screen is something else, isn't it?
It is amazing. Mashall's gonna be good.
It's gonna be huge. It's just gonna be huge everywhere.
I reckon it'll hit like the same like One Punch Man did.
Yeah, I think it's gonna hit that same crowd. That goofy, fun, OP kind of character. Yeah, it's definitely gonna hit. They know their audience. Definitely.
This also looks amazing. So Sandland movie is coming out soon. Admittedly, I know next to nothing about Sandland, but just
Why are they making all of Toriyama's stuff 3D animated?
I don't know. I mean, it's not. I don't hate it.
I know,
you know
it
what it
just
looks
feels...
like. It looks like Dragon Quest.
Yeah, like that's because
it
it
honestly
does.
look.
It is because it's the same guy.
and because it's the 3D animated, it really looks like.
Yeah. Damn it! I was actually really looking forward to a fun, well-animated series. No, that's not. Oh, don't say that. That is such a stuck-up, stupid thing to say.
I didn't even need to say anything.
I didn't mean to say it that way. I wanted to see it in its more traditional format because visually it would have made me feel like I was back in, Dragon Ball. Shut up, Brad. Shut up.
I guess like the whole point is that they're trying to bring it to a modern audience. So
it's not what the modern audience wants. Just because it's 3D, it's like they're going, all the young kids don't know animation unless it's 3D animated. And this is all Disney's fault. It really is because, a couple of studios made it big with 3D animation. Suddenly everything has to turn into 3D animation. And now they're pushing back and going, oh, wait a minute. Everybody's all nostalgic about 2D animation now. So it's I don't know where things are going. It's so all over the place.
It really is.
And I don't know. I don't know, man. I'll probably like it when it comes out.
It looks like it could be fun. I know.
I think it will be. It will be fun. It's a good series.
Have you watched Hell's Paradise?
I have.
Yeah. What did you think of it, episode 1?
It was. I forgot how kind of goofy the series is.
Yeah.
And the way it switches like so rapidly between that goofiness, just like Chainsaw Man, but why the way it switches from that goofiness to serious.
It's the branching point, right? So you have Fire Punch, which Fujimoto and Yuki.
I want to say.
Oh my god, no! I don't know. I think I'm getting my mangakas confused again. I think I was.
There's a lot of names to remember.
I think that's Black Clover. The mangaka for Hell's Paradise. No.
The way you want me to look it up for you?
They worked on Hell's Paradise Fire Punch together.
Yeah.
Him as an assistant, and then they branched off around the same time. We're doing Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise, and handled its romance, its comedy, its action so similar but so drastically different as well. It's just really interesting to see how. So excited for episode 2. It was it's going to be so technicolor beautiful. Like we got a little bit of it.
The thing is it'll lead in pretty heavily into those colors, I think, and I hope they're just insane vibrant, because those color pages that we got while we were reading the manga were something else. They were just beautiful. Yuji, what's Yuji?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yuji Kaku.
Yeah, I think I said Yuki Tabata though, which I'm
pretty
pretty sure.
Yeah, you did, but you got Yugi. you got right with Yugi. Yugi. Oh
no, I said Yuki. But anyway.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know why I keep throwing myself under the bus here. Burbo is getting a 20th anniversary. I think it's OVA.
Yeah, probably. The series has been finished for a while. For all you young folk out there who don't know what Bo is, it's a ridiculous, ridiculous gag manga like nothing you've ever seen before. And I'm not going to say much more than that because it's so much better if you just read it and just experience it, because it is an experience. It doesn't rely as heavily on um, the current status of everybody else's manga series the way that a lot of the newer gag mangas do, relying on Dragon Ball and all the other influences to provide fun inside jokes. This is just downright stupidity and insanity on its grandest level. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, definitely get stuck into it. And I'm a little bit excited to see this 20th anniversary OVA. I think it's going to be fun.
So, Logan, you're going to be seeing more of this. We literally found this bit of the news out 30 seconds before we went live, which was the nice cut-in that you got. So now we're coming full circle. Weirdly enough, we've gotten information that Weekly Shonen Jump's physical publication will be ending August 7th. And Shueisha will then be launching a new digital platform titled Jump Manga to publish all series from the magazine, available in summer, according to the leaked press release. So this
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Why start canceling? Why cancel things when you are this close to ceasing production of your magazine anyway?
What? How many copies of Jump do you think they sell each week?
I honestly have no idea, but it would be in the
millions,
easily, like hundreds of thousands.
It's got to be
millions. I don't know how, if they do anything outside of Japan anymore.
No, I don't. Maybe in Northern America, but I don't think any other countries sort of get it. But the thing is how many billions of people are there in Japan, and how many of them read manga? A lot. You know, they're selling
how many billions?
Yeah.
Billions. I think you're highballing just a smidge.
Shut up. Do what I want. Billions. There's billions of people there. But you think about it, right? Are they just being greedy little buggers? Are they going to make this a subscription service, or is it going to be free? How are they going to make their money?
So throughout 2021, it had an average circulation of 1.3 million copies per week.
Okay, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
I don't think there's any other publication in the world that can say that it does that on a weekly basis.
Okay, so the mid-80s to the mid-90s represents the area where the magazine's circulation was at its highest, at 6.53 million copies per week, with a total readership of 18 million people in Japan.
Yeah.
So while it is still high, it is a significant decrease from its golden era back in the
That's what happens 90s, when 80s. You push digital so hard.
Where is it? I've lost it. However, along with this news, the document schedules Jump Manga to go up in June, including all the current series. Well, this was actually before Ginko and Luna got cancelled. They
would have known. They would have known.
100%. But we will be getting some new serializations from Boichi, Taite Kubo, Yushin Kuroko. That's not how you say that, but I'm moving on. And Shonen Numa. I don't know the last two names, but Boichi and Taite Kubo are coming back.
Of course they're coming back. Why wouldn't they come back?
Are we getting more Bleach?
No, I hope not. If they, I
Nah.
hope he does some more Burn the
Okay.
Witch. I actually really enjoyed that
Oh,
series.
true. Well, they're in the same universe, right?
Yeah. So technically, it's more Bleach.
Because I think
What's
it
the
was
other guy?
actually
Shun Numa.
it
Sorry, that
was a
name sounds familiar.
he did a one shot of Bleach that seemed to tease a new arc. I think that was like 2 years ago now, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty hype.
Really? Come on, let him just rest. Could you imagine just doing the same series for 30 years? Shut up, Oda. But could you imagine doing the same series? I could just feel the presence of his spirit above me going, shut up, man. I don't know if I could invest that sort of scale of my life into a single title, but I guess some people can. I don't know.
Well, I mean, through all the story. Okay, so from what you've told me of like your connected universe, if you considered that one story, then yeah, 100%, you would probably take 30 years to get through all of that.
Yeah, but my connected universe isn't just one character in one place.
Yeah.
Connected universe means there's,
Yeah.
multiple stories going on. Oh wow, okay. So Shun Numa has done nothing that I actually know. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Like Brandon said, everything is just defaulting to digital nowadays.
Yeah.
And from a business perspective, it makes sense. They're getting rid of the serialized weekly print. It's going to save them a whole lot on printing costs. They'll shift it over into a subscription model on digital, looking to build more of a following there and push physical sales of the tankobons.
Well, I mean, it's how we've been doing it for the past few years.
Mm.
Because because we couldn't physically buy a copy of it. I mean, if I could buy it once a week, I would. Where I'd put them all, I don't know.
I'd probably read more of what was actually in like the weekly releases if I was getting the physical weekly
if I was
books.
buying the physical books, I'd be reading every issue of
Yeah.
every title.
Yeah.
Each week, instead of just picking and choosing. And let's admit something here: we're missing stuff because of the digital platform. We're missing the opportunity to read something that we feel like we wouldn't normally read based on a couple of chapters.
Hold on. After we've spoken at length at this, I just want to note that the date on that post was April 1st. So, grain of salt.
No, they wouldn't.
I mean,
they've been talking about this.
It's a leaked press release, so I don't know.
Is there any comments on the?
Yeah, that's what flagged it. People were like, it's April 1st. Nice try. So I was like, oh, true shit. Forgot about that.
But is it? I mean, in the scope of things, I wouldn't put it past them.
It makes sense, yeah.
And it's evolution of all the magazines these days that have happened. I mean, everybody loves print media. I love print media. It's a great material, but I also read stuff online. I don't know.
Oh, that is Boichi flexing the Dragon Ball cover.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Look at Krillin.
Yeah. It's a lot more. The ease of access is fantastic. Like, if I have a spare 5 minutes, or I'm taking a wicked dump or something, I don't know, just whip out my phone. I can read a couple of chapters. I don't have to. I've always got my phone with me.
Yeah.
I've definitely,
I get the convenience behind it, but it's
that is hella goofy. Yeah. Even Frieza's face.
Yeah, I know. It's because he's taken the no nose to extreme. So because Krillin doesn't have a nose, he's just going, just put wicked lips on him.
I love it.
He's had some good fun with that.
Food Wars artist is the next artist to be doing their Dragon Ball covers.
Interesting. So is this for what was it for again? Was it an anniversary of some kind?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember what it is.
Promotion or something.
Logan, today's not such a terrible day. In 3 days, we're getting a new one-shot from Yuji Kaku, the mangaka of Hell's Paradise, and Aishimon? Yeah. It's been cancelled for too long. That also had such promise.
But they cancelled Ginker and Luna.
I know. Silver linings.
There's no silver lining in that. We hate them for that.
Yeah, I know.
We love that series. We've talked about that series every week.
I'm so depressed.
You know, and it's real sad that something like this happens.
Such cool concepts. Just the rest of this episode is just
us whinging.
I need to get one of Logan's t-shirts as well, Paul. So good segue time, actually.
Are you're just gonna plug me right now?
I'm gonna I am gonna plug you right now.
Are.
Gotta get it up there. Hang on.
I'm sorry. I know you got to warm it up first before we get going.
Yeah, can't just surprise me like that.
I know. Squeeze a little bit tighter.
Start talking about it. Come on.
Oh, you all know about it. It's Amphibian Noir Part 2. My Kickstarter is currently running. It's looking pretty kick-ass, and I'm super duper happy and excited to get this thing out there because, man, there's some really mad stuff going on. So I...
Insane in this chapter.
Sorry?
Just crazy.
Yeah, you've been getting little sneak peeks of all the bits and pieces, and even giving me a little bit of input here and there. And things. This is Brad giving me some input. Make it weirder. Make it creepier. Do something disgusting.
What if you get that line, pick it up, throw it out the window, and just sprint in the opposite direction?
There's no line here. So, you know, Amphibian Noir Part 2 is not about crossing the line. It's about drawing the line in a further away distance. But it's you know, it's got so much more magic going on in this particular chapter of the story. We're seeing a lot more interaction between the characters, and the plot is definitely thickening up. Adding a bit of corn flour into that plot to get it all stirred up and ready to go.
That didn't do what I wanted it to do.
No,
I was hoping it was going to take me to the backing section, but it opened a new tab, and
And speaking of printed materials, man, the amount of people that have told me that reading it on the digital version versus reading it in the physical version is so different. It's like a whole different experience.
Yes.
Because we've really gone out of our way to pick the right papers and the right feel for the title.
Adds to the grittiness, I feel.
Yeah, it brings it back to a more natural transition into something that is meant to be tactile.
So big. Such a big sassy monster.
Yeah, Diem is definitely good. Also the youngest of the bunch, though.
That makes a lot of
That's why
sense.
all the sass is there, because they really love to push the boundaries of the older generation. And there's a huge gap between these characters. The boss being the older out of the three, and Klieg being his long running partner in crime from more professional standpoints, and then Diem being a character which you'll learn a lot more about in this particular part, so I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say that they joined the crew a lot later on, so it's interesting to see the character push the boundaries of everybody else to make them react and make them do different things. So, plenty of fun. You liking them colors?
Mm-hmm. Very much, very much.
These colors are killing my back, so I hope you're loving it.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. I think that's the end. Yeah, it is. I love the little. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not this one with the teeth.
Oh yeah, it is. But you need to. Yeah,
yeah.
You get a little smiley face on his teeth. A lot of little details in those panels.
I can't go any. I can't zoom. That's fine.
No.
Anyway, switching back gears.
Go on back.
So, Bone Collection mangaka went and did a boxing series on Jump Plus, which I didn't realize. And Dry Try, the new manga that we're getting, is described as a post-war boxing series.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's very big shift.
It is, but I like that. I like so I like boxing series.
I still need to watch Megalobox.
It's really, really I want to actually call it sort of noir in its own styling. The way that the story progresses and the way the characters interact, it is very noir, just without the gangsters and there's a few gangsters in there, but without all the crime and stuff like that. So it's I would say it's a lot slower paced than what most people are expecting, but it's a really good series, beautifully done. Like it's beautiful animation, a lot of emotion drawn into it.
Nice.
So yes, get onto that. Get off the isekais for a bit. I know it's hard to, because they make up 70% of the season.
I think we've got some information on. Yeah, here we go. We've got some information on the new series starting. So there's a little bit of background on the duo behind Food Wars, that are bringing us our new series. What is it? Cinema or something? Tenmaku Cinema.
Yeah.
So started off with a 2010 series about soccer or football.
Depending on where you come from.
Then we've got the mangaka going into hentai, my dudes.
Yeah.
He is man of culture. Are you
Nice.
kidding? Food Wars.
Yeah, I know, but
It's
still
softcore porn.
It is. It is.
Until he got published, and then then they did. Wow, are you kidding? 2011. So 2012, 2019 is when Food Wars ran.
It ran for 7 years?
It
Wow.
feels weird that it was 2012.
36
But
volumes.
yeah.
That's a lot of manga about food.
Yeah. Yeah. And they did do a one shot, the All Ghul's Homeroom, which I still haven't gotten around to reading yet. It looked pretty cool though.
Looks interesting.
Oh, and the One Piece spin-offs, which are amazing.
It's a crossover that makes sense, right?
Yeah. And it's almost like shoehorned filler, almost crossover. So like it starts off the first one that we get is in the East Blue, so like right near the beginning of the series, and then we get another one like jumping forward. I can't actually remember where the other two are, but yeah, we kind of skip across the series of One Piece. It's really interesting way of doing like a collaboration. Okay, this would be cool.
Story, high school students obsessed with cinema and face. Okay.
So Tenmaku Cinema is the title of their newest work. It's going to be following the story of Hajime, a high school student who's obsessed with cinema and faces an unexpected encounter that otherwise. That's pretty much all we got. So that one
sounds a little bit like Airy, but
I think that's the first one. Yeah, that one's coming out next week.
Huh. Okay. I'll give it a run. I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Then we've got, who's this one for? Okay, so this is the second series. Sorry, I know I'm going all over the place. Tadashi Fujimoto.
Kiruao.
The Kuroko's
basketball.
Right.
Okay.
So that is going to be a gag manga by the looks of it.
No. It's really in vogue at the moment, right?
An assassin action comedy series set in high school.
Yeah, but that could mean anything. It doesn't
that
necessarily
is insanely vague.
It is. And, there's quite a few of those sort of things floating around, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the
Bone Collector.
Bone Collection, yeah. So this is his stuff, and that's the one that we were just talking about already. Yeah. And this one is the one that looks pretty
cool. That style looks familiar.
I think this guy's only done one shots.
Huh.
So out of the four, this is probably the one that I'm the most interested in.
Yeah, if you scroll back up a little bit, that style is so different. So much darker. Okay. Okay.
So we got the tale of a genius cinema screenwriter, a new high schooler assassin, post-war boxing, and exorcist battle series. Give me back Phantom Seer.
Maybe they'll keep one of them. Whoa. Should we run
place
sort
your
of
bets?
run some sort of betting scheme now?
I'm thinking about it. Might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, let's quickly go over the weeklies because they were incredible.
Spoiler alerts. Yeah, if you're not up to date, go away for whatever period of time it requires for you to do that, and then come back.
Boop.
Where do you want to start?
When did they bring Doge into Twitter? Yeah, look, ready? See Doge.
Yeah, I did notice that doggy.
Ooh, that looks nice.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I could do that.
JoJo Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean Chapter 70 is up on Jump.
Wait. What? Wait, what? Hasn't it finished?
Maybe. I think they're bringing it onto
Oh, they're just transferring it across. I was about to say because the anime series is finished.
Yeah.
So and I
think it's just adding it to the
end. Yeah.
We're just gonna
the big boys.
Yep. We're jumping straight into Chainsaw Man because it's incredible.
It was such a cool chapter.
The friggin' sorry, Brandon. This is minor spoilers because I know you're not up to date with part 2 at all. But what the hell? Like the tonal shifts was absolutely incredible.
I'm more amazed by the fact that Brandon's not up to date.
He's recently just bought all of the physicals and read through them. And he was like he tweeted, I think, or he sent me a message. It was like, there we go, all up to date. And I was like, and there's part 2 now. It's already out.
Get going.
And he was like, what?
Yeah, and it starts again. Yeah, look, you're right. The tonal shift is very Fujimoto. It's him back to his cinema roots again. Cutting. He's cut the scene and shifted over to another character at the same time, which has given us an absolutely spectacular visual feast. This it is so much fun watching a devil wandering through town shopping for cooking goods, right?
And just the sheer audacity. One page earlier, one panel earlier, she's harvesting human organs and things, just going down the street, and then, oh no, I won't. If you don't bear me any ill will, I'll be no harm to you. Like, what?
Yeah.
No, you just murdered a bunch of people. What are you talking about?
But it has no intention to murder her. I mean,
I suppose.
Yeah. The whole reason she murdered all those other people was to get to
get the groceries.
To get to Asa.
I do just I'm.
Oh,
hang on.
Sorry, I'm drooling.
There we go. Now, this was incredible.
I loved it. When I read it, I'm just like, that is such Fujimoto goodness.
This was the epitome of a chapter. I'm sorry, Brandon, but Chainsaw Man, peak fiction.
It is.
I
think that's such a subjective.
It really is.
Everybody's peak fiction is so different. And one person's peak fiction is another one's trash, I guess. But this is peak fiction.
It's subjective, but this is the definitive peak.
Yeah,
of
this
fiction.
is where it's at. And if you want to argue the point, I don't know. We've moved that line, so I don't need to cross it anymore.
World Trigger's going nuts still. Twin Exorcists.
So what's it up to? What chapter is it up to? 232. Who's read? Do you know anybody who's reading it?
Nope.
Me neither. This interests me.
We don't really know a lot of people.
Shut up, Brad. I know at least 5. Shit, including my family.
That's 4 more than me.
No, I'm just saying it surprises me that it's still going and it's still pushing. I read quite a lot of it. So I read up to 80 chapters.
You read more than me.
Yeah, and I stopped reading because it got like boring,
repetitive.
I don't know. No, it's the way he paces things, and it'll be like, oh, we're running these battle simulations to develop rankings between all the officers that fight these strangers from another planet.
Do we have to?
But when they're running these events, these strangers attack. So you get these cuts between them still doing the battle simulation and over to them battling, and then they keep like jumping backwards and forwards, and
so
you're
there's
like
an invasion and a tournament arc happening at the same time.
At the exact same time. And what would happen is you would get up to a really important part in the invasion, and then it would switch across to some, we're planning to do this so we can defeat against. It had to me a lot of potential behind it. Just didn't, for me, it didn't go quick enough in the one direction. It had to keep switching, and the cast is enormous. Like stupidly enormous, and I can't keep track of everyone. But that's the reason I didn't enjoy it so much, but clearly a lot of people do.
Have
Twin Star Exorcist, I read a bit of it. It's not that bad. It's actually not a bad little manga battle series.
I've been wanting to pick it up for a little while, just haven't gotten around to it.
It's good to see it's still going. The anime's got a pretty good run. Shoten is still going. Is this the comedy? Was that the comedy one? The stand-up comedy one?
Yeah.
When did that start? I feel like that started a long time ago.
Is it monthly?
Maybe.
Or quarterly, maybe? Part of Jump Giga?
Yeah.
I think Jump Giga is the quarterly.
Okay. Yeah, it's quarterly.
Seraph of the End is another one that I wanted to get into, but haven't gotten around to.
I did watch the anime.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, it's still
edgy.
ongoing.
It's edgy as hell.
Oh yeah. We got more chapters of Goku Kugai.
So hard to say.
I know my brain just wants to skip like a couple of syllables.
Yeah, you just want to say Gokuragi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad it's not just me.
Gokura Kugai. You want to say it as 2 words. It's not. Yeah. You're right there. Okay. Cool. How are you enjoying it? Are you still enjoying it? Because I haven't caught up. I haven't delved into it yet.
Yeah, it's good. I'm taking it very slow.
I'm just I'm enjoying it from a distance at the moment.
We're getting
because
like
it's visually beautiful.
You're just getting like big chunk self-contained stories at the moment, so it's almost like picking up and reading a one-shot based in the same universe. It's nice.
But with the same characters.
Yeah. It's like it's not becoming an interconnected long-running story just yet. Where I'm up to.
Not that you know. So there might be something that's happening that's very small that you're not taking notice of, or they're not mentioning a particular character.
Doing
So
good establishment. It's
yeah, I like that. They're not trying to force it down your throat ASAP. What
Blue
the
Exorcist,
Brexit
however,
is forcing? What's it forcing down your throat? Because you
so
were going off about this earlier. You and Jack
so
were
I
both going
I
nuts.
I ended up catching up with Jack. Actually, this would be a good segue into that segment that I forgot. I knew there was something I was forgetting. No, so it's in a transitional chapter where I have no idea what the hell is happening. Pun intended.
It looks like lots of things are happening at once.
Time skip.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and it's all panels. So this
Yeah.
is this is this is
So
all panels swirling together, which is such
so
a cool concept.
oh man,
Oh, I love
it's
that.
so Satan. The plan to seal Satan was successful, but only partially. So his body gets destroyed, and he basically is hunting for a new vessel.
I thought they might have
Potentially,
sealed him into a boy, a baby child.
potentially, potentially fusing with his son. But not just well, we don't really know what happened to Reen. He's fusing with the planet itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't want to go small, do they? They're just
and
going.
and Mephisto's all like that's him in the center there. And he's all like, Satan's power is so explosively growing at the moment that it honestly, man, it took me to reread the previous chapter and then reread this current chapter to kind of understand what's happening.
Piece it all together. It'll probably make more sense next chapter.
Exactly, it will,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm expecting. But at this point, I'm just like, I have no idea what I just read.
I hope that mangaka is looking after themselves.
Yes. So yeah, with Satan distorted time and space for Mephisto and us, the reader. And I think we've done like a 2-year time skip. So the narratively written the time skip in like this weird meta way, which I thought was kind of cool.
That's kind of fun.
Honestly, the transition was really cool. Like Satan's starting to like glitch out almost. And he's the what they do is a life flashing before your eyes in the form of like Satan losing his mind, and you're getting like panels and stuff, and Reen is reaching out to like Satan's core, and he's trying to have a conversation with his dying father, essentially, who he's just kind of come to terms with the fact that even though he now has the opportunity to punch his deadbeat dad in the face, he just wants everybody to get along.
He just wants a hug.
And everything's unraveling in front of him, and then Satan kind of goes supernova and fuses with the planet, and then everything just turns to shit, and it was so well done, but it was just so chaotic, and I got so confused. But it was an experience, so it took me like a good half hour to decipher what was like happening.
Nice.
Dan to Dan is incredible. We've hit chapter 100. Logan was correct. Someone gets donutted.
Mortally wounded.
Oh, just get on to reading this series.
Yes. Speaking of peak fiction, this one's another that is peak fiction.
I'm trying to rapid through these. We're just going highlights. Undead Unluck has finished up its Vietnam War flashback. And the next genre we're tackling is sci-fi, because we're going to the moon, baby.
Oh man, when
Uh,
this thing hits anime, it's just gonna be nuts.
Dude, I was talking to Jack about this one as well, and I'm like, it it is literally going through all of the genres of just every movie franchise that you can think of, and leading up to when they were doing the loop, I was really unsure of the future of the series, but has not disappointed since.
They had a plan.
Like the shift in Fuko, being a 16-year-old to being a 216-year-old immortal, the confidence and shift in the character was so well executed, to her being now the leader of the group, bringing everyone together. It's just amazing. Like I know it had a bit of a rough start with its perviness, but barrel through it because it is
Mm,
such an incredible series. Andy hasn't been in it since the loop happened, so Fuko
interesting.
can definitely handle the series on her own. She's become a master strategist. It is so cool. The mangaka is having so much fun with this series, and it's showing.
Nice.
Um,
Demon Bride.
that
Bye
is officially
bye.
ended now, which I'll have to catch up on. I wonder if there are going to be a couple of chapters exclusive to the Takuban. They like doing that. Holy crap! Uh,
More peak
Sakamoto
fiction.
is the most hard-boiled thing you will ever read. It
I
is
love it.
intense.
But
Ah,
goofy. It's goofy and
just read it.
intense, and it's got such a unique
Unique.
combination of characters and ideas that when you say, "Oh, it's a series about assassins and an assassin school and stuff like
It's
that,"
a
you're just like,
a
"Oh, I'm
fat
expecting,
a
yeah,
fat
something."
retired assassin store clerk and a telepath and a drunken Chinese triad who hasn't been relevant in so damn long. Bring back Lin.
She was there for like one chapter.
I am enjoying this flashback
I
though.
am just this
Oh
flashback
my
is just
god,
it's really boiled it back to the original fierce action hard boiledness it was
dude! The
early
villain
on.
is so campy. He's
Yeah.
bringing back the carnival feel.
Yeah, he's everything that comes out of his mouth is just so cringy and stupid.
Oh man, he's got so many virtue points, and
Yeah, he puts everything to points. He's like, I've got over 200,000 virtue points. I was just like, what? How do you even gauge that?
how are you calculating this? Oh man, the only way he survived is because he has so many virtue points. It's like what?
It's just his way of adapting to circumstances,
Oh,
I guess.
I'm getting
Uh,
too hyped up. I'm getting lightheaded.
it was just so much fun. And every chapter has just been so much fun.
The
Uh,
lighting the cigarette off the sparks of the
oh my
motorcycle
God.
slide.
That whole scene, that
It's
4 or 5
pure cool.
page, I saw it happen. Like I saw everything move in my mind while I was reading it. It's so dynamic and it is so beautiful. The way he jumps up and spins through the middle of the airborne car in one door out the other while she's sliding
It's
the motorbike underneath and lighting her cigarette off the sparks.
hang on. I'm just gonna bring it up. We
It
can't
is
tease everybody.
I know
Um,
it's the most beautiful sequence of images I've
I
seen
mean, you
for a
should
little
be
while.
reading this anyway, but
That's right. That is right. It's one of the most popular series at the moment.
also
So
just in and of
yeah,
itself, this is just
that's what it was. The hat
yeah.
is the singer.
Where are we? Here
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah. Oh man. Through the car, out the other
So
side,
gorgeous.
while sliding and lighting the cigarette. It's just everything cool is like right there. And then you're just like, when did he get time to get a pole?
It's
Oh,
so unbelievably cool. It has no reason to be this cool.
there's nothing as cool as this at the moment.
Yeah, they must have. Okay, I have no idea what's going on in Mission
What is
Yozakura family anymore.
they're the kids, right? They're the kids.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go with that. Ichinose. More questions.
Read it. Read it.
More,
Just
so many
read it.
questions.
Stop asking me questions and read it. Oh, no.
It was such a somber chapter too.
Yeah.
It was just
Honestly, it gave me hope, which I feel stupid for.
That's because it's so well written and it's so focused on Ginka right now and
Yep.
his desire to not enter her life again to cause more trouble. It's just, yeah, it was beautiful.
Elusive Samurai and Jiangxi X are both getting super brutal.
Mm.
Even though like this looks pretty bad. Nowhere near like a dude gets his arm chopped off in this chapter. Nowhere near as brutal as Jiangxi X. Holy hell! Have you read it?
Yeah. It's one of my top ones now that I jumped
It's
straight into because I'm enjoying the real. It is raw shonen, is what it is. It is just pure raw shonen at its greatest.
like the dad gets cleaved in half and he's just like hanging apart. I was like,
Yeah.
damn,
I was just
we
like,
going hard.
he's got a little cut on his shoulder, and then like 3 panels later, it's like his arms like half hanging off. And it's like,
You're like,
that was a little bit bigger than a little cut.
tis but a flesh wound.
Yes, very much.
And yes, Akane Benashe, I 100% accept that this is a battle manga disguised, and I don't care. It's tournament arc, and it's amazing, and it's still just, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. It's cool.
That's it.
It's kind of like it's a character drama, political drama.
Yeah, as soon as I
but
shifted
also,
to anime,
yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna
That's gonna be
transcribe
super
really
interesting.
beautifully.
Black
Black Clover.
Clover is really pulling out the stops and getting a little meta, and I really enjoyed it. So you had like the time mage trying to do something bad, and Yuno's like, yeah, pulling a Peter Pan right now, and we're going to Never Neverland. Your time magic's useless. Time stands still. Like, I'm not even kidding. And then the time mage is just like, I knew this. That you were my rival, and you guys are like, nah, you know my rival. I've already got one. He's better than you. Get out of here. It's just such sass. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's just it's rude.
Yeah,
work,
it really was. It was great. Jujutsu Kaisen is also killing it too at the moment.
Bugman.
Yuji's disappeared again.
Yeah, like he has no loyalty to the series.
No, none.
I wonder what he does in his downtimes.
Oh,
look at that panel.
Hirokoshi, the only disappointment in the My Hero Academia chapter for 384 was that there wasn't an Easter egg for vigilantes in it. That is my only complaint. I love vigilantes so much, and the last double page spread was like a we kind of got like the last little couple of pages leading up to the double page spread was like from the perspective of some like journalists that everything in Japan is shut down at this point. So they were basically like talking about how everything is so personal at this stage for everybody involved, whether you've retired from the fight because of your own personal reasons, if you're still in the fight for your own personal reasons, if you're reporting on the fight, getting the story out to the world, regardless of how the fight ends, everything's personal. And that then led into this is what's happening around the world. People are viewing what's happening in Japan. And seeing as like the end of Vigilantes ends with like Koichi, the main character, being exiled from Japan essentially because he broke the law. Being a hero in America, I thought it would have been the most perfect opportunity to Easter egg it, but no. And that's my petty rant for today.
Well, look, it would have made sense. They had because it did he get
Perfect
cancelled in the end?
opportunity. Nah, it
just ran out.
concluded. Yeah, it
Yeah.
concluded. It was amazing. I love Vigilantes so much. It has such a beautiful tone that contrasts to the main series. Perfect way to do a spin-off. I loved it. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, that's how they should always do spin-offs. It should be its own entity. It should be its own idea, instead of trying to formulate what they did on the original series. So that's the right way to do a spin-off.
So cool that the spin-off happens. Starts obviously after because it's a spin-off, but also ends before the main series is finished.
That's a really cool idea, though.
Yeah,
the fact that because it becomes a real full circle
and
environment.
well, the whole thing's prequel as well.
Yeah.
So
is it?
Yeah. Because Aizawa and Mike and all of that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Before they're teachers.
Yeah.
And some of the tie-ins, man, like it was so amazingly executed where like you would it's all like the prison stuff at the moment, like so like the reveal where Kurogiri was the dead friend of Aizawa and present Mike. That was done like in tandem. That was so cool. There was I think the midnight stuff as well. That was also done in tandem. It was just such a cool experience to be reading them both. It was it weekly? Bi-weekly?
I
can't remember.
Monthly? Who knows? Anyway.
Yeah, I suppose it's irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah. But that is coordination and clearly an excellent device designed by the writer. To generate that. But the Vigilantes was done by a different writer and different artist, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But clearly a close work with
collaboration.
Hiroki. Yeah.
That was just incredible. I adored that.
Healy Spirit Days. No.
I just, man, the art. We're in for such a treat.
I think we are.
Yeah. But before we talk about the isekai anime, Kaiju number 8 is ramping up to being absolutely incredible piece of fiction. Yeah.
I feel like it slowed down on purpose just so they could do this. And
But even though like they slowed down, they didn't slow down much.
No, they just took that main character out of the action.
Yeah.
But he was still there. So I like the fact that they removed him from the action, but he was still there, not doing what he wanted to do until, all hell broke loose. But the way he says, "I'm not coming to save you because I believe in what," oh man, right
Yeah.
there, because he made that
Yeah.
promise not to save her. So I can't wait to see her go just bananas in the next
Dude,
chapter.
the way they ended the chapter with just her and just like the deadpan serious face was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit's about to go down.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be so good. Right. Are we isekai now?
Yeah. I've been rapidly trying to find it because I've forgotten the title again because it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculously long. You got it? You got it?
No.
1 second.
It's
I
something
think I
about
got
a
it.
cheat skill.
Yeah. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a title.
What were you? Okay, so I'm gonna share my honest opinion. What did you think about the series, Logan?
Well, look, here's the story, right? Brad sends me a text halfway through the day today and goes, "You need to watch this because we're going to talk about it." I'm just like, "What now?" I didn't know what I was walking into, so no research at all. I only knew the title, and I went ahead and watched it on my break. And it just look, it looks like it could be pushing into something interesting, but it's the first episode. It's really hard for me to gauge any scale of anything
I
at the
know.
moment.
I'm
And
admittedly going to be unnecessarily mean.
it at the moment just looks too easy, and there's not anything really happening. I feel like it's
It
going to be
is.
more in the real world than it's going to be in the other world. The other world's just going to be the mechanism he uses to become, better looking. Man, that actually kind of makes me a little bit angry. The whole
Mhm.
so
Everything
the
about it,
main
man. Okay,
character. Okay, the main character makes me angry because he's a
everything about
good guy.
he's stupid.
Yeah, but he's a
His
good guy.
uncle, his
His
grandfather,
grandfather.
stupid.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe.
Everything about this is so dumb.
It's trying to be serious. It's trying to be serious, but the concept
What?
is ridiculous.
Why did? Okay, concept. Go with the concept.
Yeah. Okay. So the concept is. So I'm just gonna run it out there. So we start off with a guy who's been, bullied all his life because he's some fat, ugly kid that nobody likes. Pretty stock standard for the start of an isekai, right? And then the only person that really actually talks to him and hangs out with him is his grandfather, and his grandfather ends up passing away.
Even his parents.
Yeah, even his parents like
Even-
shun him. They're just like, screw you,
I'm
man.
sorry. It's so unnecessarily depressing. Like, just like
I
anything
can't take
that
it seriously.
anything that possibly could happen to a person happens
Yeah.
to this dude. It is so unnecessarily, unbelievably cruel.
Well, you know why they're doing that, right?
I know.
They're trying to set it up to,
It's it's like 1,000,000% wish fulfillment. It is like insanity.
yeah. And it just it kind
Like
of
the
made
guy
me a bit
the,
angry at the
the
whole thing.
there's a girl that's like about to be sexually assaulted by a bunch of dudes in broad daylight at the convenience store,
Because that
and he
happens.
walks, and apparently, I mean,
It's
yeah,
pretty common in Japan, apparently,
yeah.
according to anime.
And The fat guy walks over and he's like, excuse me, and gets the shit beaten out of him. Like,
I will
I
admit
thought that's
that
how he got
first
isekai'd.
that
I thought he
I
was
was
about to
waiting for
die.
that too. I was waiting for it too. But that first sequence, loved the production.
Yeah,
I loved the
yeah.
first person perspective. I loved, the animators. Hats off to those guys because they did an absolutely spectacular job.
They animated
doing
trash
that.
perfectly. It was
Yeah, yeah. And he just got the shit kicked out of him and then walks off. I'm just like, dude,
like cops
why?
rock up and this girl's like, "Thank you," and he's just like,
Fuck off.
Think nothing of it, fine lady. Any man would do the same. It's like, I'm sorry, you are just not a real person.
Yeah. Yeah, he just gets up and goes, I'm okay, and then just walks off.
Milady.
But he doesn't even do that. He just walks off.
But the thing that got me about this so much is it's rated 4.9 stars, 3.9 thousand reviews. I was just like, did we watch the same thing?
I don't understand how people are rating this so high at the moment. It's not a terrible. I'm not going to say it's terrible. I'm just saying that it's not
junk food.
It's not that scale.
It's like a solid 2.5, maybe 3. It's got an interesting concept. I'll give it that. Did I call everything?
Oh, so
down to calling level 100 as the number. Like, Jack's sitting next to me. He's read the manga for this because, of course, he has.
Yeah, of course he has.
And I'm sitting next to him, and I'm like, oh, there's a barrier, right? And he's just gonna like hit him with his overpowered weapon, kill it in one hit, get him butt ton of experience, jack up to level 100. He's gonna get stripped down, completely shredded, good looking. Oh, look, yep, everything I've just said has just happened. And then he's such an idiot. He wakes up in the morning, he's completely shredded, and he's like,
okay,
oh, that feels
part
weird.
made me. I'm just like,
it's so cringy. He's like, oh, that's right. I forgot his mental breakdown where he punches the mirror and then punches the wall to find his isekai grandfather's hidden room, which he just conveniently never decided to tell his grandson, not even in his will, that he left the entire goddamn house to his grandson because he's your son or daughter, because it's unclear which, were absolute pieces of crap that just deserted their child.
It doesn't matter anyway.
I know, right?
Nothing matters. Nothing in this is actually really drawing me in and going, this is different or new or a great take. They better pull something seriously amazing out of their ass to actually get this.
I suppose that's the worst thing, right? Is now they've got me to gonna watch the second episode because
it's all uphill from here, baby.
It's so bad. Like, it is so poorly written that I'm just like, how are you going to salvage this, if at all?
Well, they must, because it must be popular because it's got its own anime. It's doing okay, I guess.
I just couldn't take anything, and it just okay. So he decides with all of his now free time, I guess, because his time skips a little bit.
So what happens when he gets items in another world and goes back to the real world? What happens?
So he anything that he kills in the other world, he can then sell for real world money, meaning that he doesn't have to work for anything, which is convenient because he just got fired from his job because he got the shit kicked out of him and he physically looks like shit. And the boss is like, "Oh, why were you late? Doesn't matter. Your replacement's here. You're fired. Get out of my sight." Like, I'm sorry, what?
Everybody in this world is slime. Everybody. It's just like the entire world is just the worst version of what they could be.
So that's convenient. He also has an appraisal skill with the video game menu system pissed me off from the get-go. It's just lazy. The whole thing's just lazy. It's so damn lazy. Back in my day, okay, this is why I'm the isekai connoisseur.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
it's
back
just
in my day.
it's so lazy.
Yeah. It's pulling so hard from every other title that's already done all of this stuff.
Like I thought Sword Art Online was lazy, but this takes the cake, man. And so like the protagonist then starts researching stuff in the library and loses track of time, and so it's been days. He hasn't gone to school. He hasn't looked in a mirror
For days. Is he not feeling a little bit lighter than normal? Is he,
well, he's just like, yeah, sure, you might not be able to see your head, but you can certainly see everything else.
There's got to be at least an extra couple of inches there, right?
I mean, he'd be able to see it for the first time in how long? And so he ends up going to school, sitting down. Everyone's like, "Oh, hey, new kid, who are you? Oh, I guess you're an exchange student." I went to say intern, but that's not the right term.
That's not the right word.
And then he's like, "No, it's the guy that you bully. It's me." And they're all like, "What?"
Everybody's like, "What?"
Because it's like a night and day change from being fat bastard to being God's gift. And yeah, everyone has the reaction that you would expect. And so he then goes to the bathroom and he has the same reaction. It's just so dumb.
It was a pretty dumb moment. And
the whole first episode, man, I was just shitting on it constantly, and I felt so bad because I think Jack wanted me to like it.
How you doing, Jack? Because I feel like I'm in the same boat as Brad here. I feel like the animation studio's done a ripper job.
Yeah. Oh, it looked
looks
incredible.
Nice. It looks really good. It's got a vibe that's very similar to Mushoku. The animation's not as close.
The concept was interesting. The writing was just dog shit. I'm sorry. It was just a complete and utter dog's breakfast. Like, minimal effort. So I hope that they pull something out of their ass for the next.
It also felt rushed.
I don't understand.
Now this is also. I mean, we're probably really judgy because we've come off the back of something like Eminence in Shadow, and that was peak. You know, that is.
It was like the complete opposite of this on the swing of cringe, right? That was cringe turned up to 11. This is cringe on a scale of 1.
And it's cringe that's trying to take itself too seriously.
Yeah, but not in a good way, like Eminence.
No, not in a fun way. Not in that, that ridiculous, over the top kind of way. This is trying to make you feel sad and upset that the characters, had to go with this. You know what really pisses me off? They could have kept him fat. They could have kept him as the guy who nobody likes.
He didn't work for it. And I get it. It's a cheat skill, but what's the point of this series? I don't what is the point of it? Apart from it being wish fulfillment, I don't understand.
Tell me something, right? If you had the opportunity to go into another world while existing in a world that absolutely hates you, would you go back?
Also, he hasn't left the barrier area yet.
No. We haven't even started the series yet.
He's god tier at this stage.
And he hasn't even moved. And it's so frustrating that you wouldn't just exit that door and go, "See you later, world that I hate. I'm going to
Mm,
go and enjoy myself." Why wouldn't you just do that?
I don't know why he went back. To
Because
be
he's
honest,
freaking stupid.
it's so dumb. But I did also watch Kuma Kuma Bear, and
Oh
I
yeah.
will admit that was fun. That was hella fun.
Yeah, I watched the first season.
I
I haven't watched the new stuff.
so Jack went to put on season 2, and I was like, I haven't seen the first season. I have no idea what the hell this is about.
You don't honestly. You probably could have picked it up. It's so goofy and
he puts
silly.
on the first episode, and I'm like, well, we're eating Mexican, and I'm all like, bro, can we watch dub, please? And I'm all like, nom, nom, nom. And it was amazing. I had so much fun. See, that was
It's
isekai done good. That was pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. It's a
Um,
junk food isekai. It's nothing to
I'm
take
not
too seriously.
I'm
It's
not
just
100%
fun.
sure what's going on. I mean, first episode, she hasn't. Jack gave me a little bit of extra knowledge, because then we ended up watching Hell's Paradise, and that was.
Mm, mm.
And then we watched Cheat Skill, which is why it was
Oh
even
my
worse.
god!
So it was like Kuma 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 Bear, and then Hell's Paradise, and then absolute trash. So it was like meh, meh. So yeah, but I had to get that off my chest. I just couldn't. I just couldn't.
You know what? You know what? This is gonna come back and bite us in the ass when the next episode's gonna be like, it's gonna be really good.
Tune in next week to see how wrong or right we were.
How much we wish to eat our words.
Because that first episode, man, that was rough.
Yeah. Yeah, I just felt like they were rushing too hard and they were just doing stupid stuff.
Like it got to the point where he
Unnecessarily
was
stupid.
punching the mirror, and I was just like, why is it so depressing? Like I know
Why
where
is
we're going,
I
but
don't
like
want to
this is
sound really morbid, but I want to be a little bit honest here, but why hadn't he killed himself at this point?
right. I'm sorry, but
Yeah. It's in the situation that he's in, most
Like,
kids of his age would definitely
or at least
think
be a shut
about
in.
yeah. Yeah. They wouldn't leave
Like he
the
no,
house.
he'd be
No.
straight up a hikikomori.
But instead he
Just-
somehow has the balls to interrupt guys, you know, that are clearly gangsters. Style
man, it was
folk,
so weird.
and it just everything it didn't. There's a lot of irk in there. Is the only way to explain it.
The salt, man, the salt. And yeah, like when I did call the level 100 thing, Jack just lost it, and like both of us, as soon as like it came on screen, it was like on floor stitches. It was a fun time, but just what the hell.
We're gonna come across some predictable stuff. We can't love everything, can we?
I know.
But for it to have that rating, man, I hope you went on there and you rated that like a 1 star, just to
I haven't
try
yet,
and
actually.
just to try and knock it down a few pegs, because it just baffles me that so many people enjoyed it to the extent that you'd
And-
give it 4.8.
And when I checked it, when I sent it through to you guys last night, it had 800 reviews. I was baffled then at it being 4.9 stars.
Well, the weird thing is, right, is you didn't actually tell me anything about it, and you didn't.
Oh, sorry, I sent it through to Jack. That's
you
right.
didn't give me a standpoint. You just said, "Watch
No.
this. We're going to talk about it tonight."
Yeah.
You sent me a trap.
I did.
And it wasn't just a regular trap. You sent me a picture of the ratings of this show and said, "Watch this. We'll talk about it tonight." I'm just like, I'm in for a treat now. Yeah, that's what you sent me. You sent me that shit. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm so geared up to look into this. And I tried so hard. And even, for a solid 40 minutes after watching it, I was just like, yeah, that was good, right? Yeah, that was good, right? Come on. It looked really good. It was pretty slick. I tried to convince myself that it was
You tried
more
to
than
gaslight
what it
yourself.
was. I was, because I wanted to join. I wanted to join the other 800 people in understanding what was so good about it. The now 3.8 thousand people that love this show, but they must be fans of the manga. That's all I can think of.
And it has to be a light novel, right? With a title like that, it has to be a light novel.
Has to be at some point, especially with such early ordinary writing. That's traits of a light novel there. All I can think is it gets better. It must get better.
It has
So
to.
it's all uphill from here, baby. We're gonna have the time of our, and we're gonna, you know what? Every week we're gonna review this. We're coming back to this every week.
Just had an idea for a new segment. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Watch this space.
That's right. We should probably wrap it up now because we've gone
way
over time.
Yeah. I really just wanted to get that segment out.
Yeah,
I forgot about it, and
I can't believe that we just bagged that out for so straight. Honest reviews right here.
If you disagree, come leave us a comment on the YouTube video.
That's right.
And leave us a dislike. Share us. Let's fight.
Let's light this fire, baby.
This is now Read This Way, the I acquired a cheat skill and became god tier in every universe channel.
At the moment. Completely different. Tell us it's gonna get better.
Lego. I've been Brad.
I've been Logan.
Catch you next week.